All right, guys, we're here with the Ledshed Customs Appreciation Giveaway bike. We got special guests Chris and Mark from Cycle Source Magazine with us today, helping us film this. That's pretty cool. They came in town. We helped them build their Twisted T 2026 Twisted T giveaway frame for the bike they're going to build. So keep an eye out for that. But anyways, today we're going to show you guys how to mount your rear fender, and we're going to build the Sissy bar on this bike really quick. Because once we get that built, we just have to do the seat pan. We'll do that in the future and show you how we do our seat pans. And then we should be able to tear this thing down and start getting the paint. Let's start with adjusting the chain first. Not your uncle's track. All right, first thing you want to do when you're mounting your rear fender, get your motor bolted in. On this one, we installed the ledsleded chain conversion kit. And then you get your chain on, get it cut to length, and tighten your chain. I usually like to tighten them pretty tight when we're doing this, just because your initial chain stretch. So I start out a little bit tighter than what you would actually adjust your chain for when you're mounting your fender. So at this point, we got the chain adjusted. We've used the laser. We put the laser at the back here, lined up the tire with the backbone and the head tube. So the frame is in the center, the chain is correct and straight, the sprockets are lined up. So now with all that being said, we'll go ahead, put the chain on the tire. I like to use a chain for spacing, especially these old school tires. They swell up just a little bit, so a chain gives you at least a good close to 3/4, you know, around that spacing. So we'll put the chain on here for spacing, then put the fender on here and get it positioned where we want it to be on the tire. All right, now that we have the chain on the tire for clearance and we've got the fender laying on top of the chain, I'm not really worried about right now centering the fender. I'm just kind of looking at it here. You know, our fenders come full 180 radius, so usually when you're building a chopper, you're not using the full fender. I like to go about where the axle's at, 12 o'clock, and then maybe come over roughly about 11 o'clock. I feel like that's where it looks good. Especially if we're gonna put a Sissy bar on this. You know, you don't want your Sissy bar to be too straight up and down, but you don't want it to be leaned way back. So I feel like 11 o'clock is a nice angle for a Sissy bar on your bike, and that's off of your axle is where I'm going at. So where we're at now is we're coming out here, we have all this excess fender. I like to just pretty much draw a line, and with the bottom frame rails, I like to trim it to where, you know, it's straight across roughly with, say, the bottom of your bottom frame rails here. So I'll just kind of mark this so I can pull this off and trim it. Another thing you need to do is you need to notch for your chain. If you're not paying attention to it and keeping up on it, it can move quite a bit. So, you know, my theory is you kind of look at where it would be cool to notch it for your chain and go up another double that. Because the day you don't pay attention to your chain, especially if you got a nice paint job and you're trying to chip it or something, you're gonna get up there. I mean, just what I'm saying right there, that seems like a cool spot to notch your chain. But look, just in normal tension, I can almost reach that. So you're probably definitely gonna get up in this area sometime before you realize, oh, I need to tie my chain. So I usually go about double and then just come in, you know, about a 1/2 inch off the corner radius of your fender, and then we're going to notch that out for your chain clearance.
There's the fender we'll be using.
All right, so now that we've got the fender trimmed the way we want, we got the chain cut out over here, I've got my professional fender holder here. I don't know if you guys have one of these. If you don't, you'll just have to figure out another way to hold your rear fender on here.
Check Amazon.
Yeah, I got this at Harbor Freight on sale. But so yeah, so the fender spacing is correct on both sides. It's where we want it here. So what I do, oh, I need a marker. I just mount with our lead sled fender strut kits. I just mount a bung here, and then I mount two up here. And our strut kits usually come down and mount to the axle plate here. But since we're doing a Sissy bar, I'll put the strut kit on, mount all the bungs, and then we'll come off these to these bungs and weld it and kind of heat it and build it on the bike. We need to drill some holes here to put these bungs in. So I just come over and mark where these are going to be. You want to drill these really quick for me. Just so you know, the reason I'm not measuring in or getting very technical with it is because these are our lead sled fenders. So there's actually some spinning lines on here. So all I have to do is go in the correct spinning line length, and that's measuring it in for me. So then I'm just, the dots are where the bars are.
Flip them up still.
All right, can you hold it for me again? Once we get it up here, let's get it centered again. Now we're gonna measure the gaps of 1 1/8 inches. Inch and 3/8. Cutoff tool. One thing I can say is make sure your cutoff tool is straight with the part. Speeds and feeds are definitely important with a cutoff tool. Sharpness is another thing. Another thing is the height. See how we're pretty much cutting off that nipple? So you want your parting tool, I like to just go below center a little bit. You know, depending on what you're cutting, sometimes aluminum will gold up a little bit more. Not trying to tell you professional machining instructions here, but just in general, in your garage, you're goofing off, you just got a lathe. That with your cutoff tool, definitely make sure you're in center. Speeds and feeds and height. Also, making sure your tool is tight. If there's anything rocking, like make sure your cross slides, if they have set screws, to where you can tighten everything up to where it doesn't move any. If you have any backlash, that'll definitely end up catching and pulling your cutoff tool into it and breaking it. Look here, I try to be consistent with how I'm turning it. Oh, another thing too. Where your cut is, especially with the cutoff tool, you want to be pretty much as close to the chuck as you can get. You know, don't get so ridiculously close that you're on the chuck, but you don't want to be an inch away from the chuck trying to cut this piece out in the middle of nowhere. It'll vibrate, you'll get chatter. You know what's cool about inverters? That spoke right there, it's pretty much the exact angle that we're doing our Sissy bar. So if you buy yourself a set of invaders too, it'll make this Sissy bar mounting kit, the Sissy bar application a lot easier. After it's built, you're fine. I'm just saying to build the Sissy bar.
Yeah, to build the accurate Sissy bar.
I mean, there's so many uses for these invaders. Well, I don't want to get it too obnoxiously big. I think 28 will look nice in there. Which one of you guys can tack really good? You know what, Roscoe? Come here and tack for me. Beautiful. All right, here's where we're at now. The way I like to do it, we're just gonna build a really basic Sissy bar. We wanted our Sissy bar to be like, what was that? Say 18 inches over the fender, so we went with 28 inches from the bung. So we cut 2 pieces of round stock, tacked them on the bottom here, tacked them on the top. So what we have right now is just a basic fender mounted with a strut kit. So what we're gonna do now, we've got our bungs mounted here, top rail. Then we have our bungs on the top that our struts would mount to anyways. So now that we've got the Sissy bar tacked up, everything's in line. So now we're gonna take the torch, we'll let this down, and we'll just pretty much gonna eyeball, go by our center line here on the fender, bring these over to the middle, cut them at an angle at the top, just put them together, tack them, grind it, and finesse it. There you have your Sissy bar.
All right, the cross fade mower. No, there's easy. Let's leave it on the list.
Give me right there. Same as what we've been doing. Just kind of keep it cut up.
Yeah, that's much easier.
Well, that's close enough because now when I clean that up and notch it together, then we can finesse it just a little bit more.
Yeah, we're good.
Nice. Well, I mean, that's good because we're going to fill it in with wood, metal and shape it anyway. So as long as we get them close. Did I say wool? Llama. What do llamas have?
Llama holes.
Llama holes?
Pretty good, actually. Might have.
Good.
Can't see it from my porch.
You gonna smack my hood down for me?
I'd like to introduce you to my assistant. I've not worked her that long.
Oh, no ground.
Where's he at on that?
All right, so what did we learn here today? We learned how to mount a fender.
Don't run with scissors.
We learned how to build a Sissy bar.
What did that learn today, or what did we learn today?
But we also learned if you purchase a set of ledsleded wheels, they have special perpendicular angles on them that will help you build your chopper that you can line stuff up.
100 used to the
Yeah,
Invader wheel.
101 ways to use a leadsled Invader.
Don't tell Dave.
It will help you build your chopper. So there we go. Sissy bar installation on the Sportster appreciation giveaway build. All you have to do is go to our YouTube channel, follow us, and like and subscribe. And here sometime soon when we get the rest of the way built, we're gonna be giving this away to one of you guys on our YouTube channel. We've been in business now for getting close to 25 years. But I just thought it was cool, you know, us as a company starting from pretty much nothing and building up and being where we're at now. I just thought it'd be fun to build something to give away to you guys, give away to our followers and people that like Led Sled and have been there for us, you know, bought product from us. So I just decided to build a bike with our product, build a Sportster. That's what we specialize in. And I thought it would be kind of cool to get you guys involved. You know, we've been doing some voting on the frame type, the bike type, chopper, cruiser, you know, wheels. So, you know, it's been really neat along this process so far of you guys picking and voting on parts, because we're kind of building this bike together, and here eventually, you know, somebody on our YouTube channel, we're just going to pick one of you guys and somebody's going to win this bike just for following and being part of our YouTube and checking out what we do. So yeah, if you don't win it, you can still build these. You can buy these wheels. They will help you build your bike. Multi-purpose wheels.